The other day, one of the people I work with told me that they did not think they were getting their money's worth from the work that they're doing with me. But the reason I want to talk about it is because for me, it's about integrity and value. So, after a discussion with this client about what business would look like, how much time would be involved, changes that would be expected, and then the investment in the program, after the first month, to be hit with that statement really took my breath away, but also woke me up to something. Now, I know that I am very good at what I do. I know that in some of my skill sets, I'm an expert at what I do. However, that means nothing if the person I'm working with doesn't have that perception, or if indeed I haven't delivered within my skills to make the kind of impact that will result in the change for that person. So that's an issue of integrity. So we were at an impasse. We had to have a conversation. Is this relationship going to go forward? Is this person going to keep paying to do work with me? Is something going to change? I had to dig deep into myself and ask myself what was most important here. Well, and it chokes me up a little bit here because it's about not so much my reputation per se, but I think perhaps the value and integrity play into what that word actually means for me. I don't want someone to speak poorly of me with respect to the work that I can do. I want to take complete ownership for the work that I do. I wasn't doing something, or I wasn't doing things well enough in the eyes of that person to create the change. And that's all on me, because ultimately, I value my services and my word more importantly than the money I can create or receive from another person. Money is wonderful. Having money allows us to do certain things in life and perhaps to enjoy certain freedoms. But if the goal is only how much I can charge or how much I can make, then for myself at least, I will be out of alignment with my core values and with my integrity. My values are about one of my core values is about making an impact and helping people change. So the integrity there means that I would be out of alignment if I didn't fully serve the person I had committed to working with to the level that I had committed to in our agreement. After a discussion, what I promised going forward was to make good on failed expectations. Because those expectations are important to me, not only in the marketplace, but most importantly to who I am as a professional, as Darren Steele, as someone who says, I can help you get to this point. And I suppose the caveat there means, or would translate into, if I haven't been able to help you get to that point, we need to stop. We need to look at why that happened. Was it you? Was it me? Was it both of us? And it won't be about blame. It will be about, okay, do I need to change tactics? Do we need to create different layers of reporting to make sure you stay on track for yourself so that you are accountable to yourself? Do I need to change how I work with you in a particular way to get the desired result? And this is the challenge in being a service-based professional. This is the challenge even with a product when you make a claim perhaps about what a book or a program might do for you, and if the receiver thinks that they aren't getting that, how do you handle that from, then I say quote unquote, a customer service perspective? Because whether the customer is always right or not is not what's important. What's most important is integrity. Are you true to your word? If you say you're going to do something and help someone achieve something, will you make that happen to the best of your ability? And that was the question I asked myself. So yesterday I was feeling that like resistance where you're just like pushing against that resistance. And then I realized if this is the challenge, if this is the obstacle right here, it's not about pushing it and banging up against it. It's about just walking and moving slowly toward it and then just flowing into it so that this gentle work, which would be taking an action, making a change, is going to slowly, not so much push, but become part of the challenge. And then you are in that obstacle. And by being in it, there is no longer resistance. You are starting to affect change. And you can only be continually present throughout the process to continue with that change to get to the outcome that you're looking to achieve. Now, just to wrap, this reminds me of, I love Frank Herbert's Dune and the made-for-TV adaptation many years ago. There's a scene where the Atreides is standing out in the desert. He's becoming sort of half worm, and there's a big sandstorm about to approach, and he's standing emboldened against the approaching sandstorm. I will face my fears, he says. And it just gives shivers because he's going to stand there rooted in the ground while this obstacle of a sandstorm comes towards him and envelops him. There will always be tumult. There will always be struggle. There will always be resistance. There will always be obstacles in life. We can run and flee from them. We can face them head on. And there's an aspect of a little bit of resistance to that, but or we can embrace them. Embracing them means that we will swim in that vortex of emotion or challenge or struggle until we come out on the other side of it. And I guess that's really what integrity is for me. And I would invite you to share below in the comments what integrity means to you. And was there a situation where you had to step up to the plate, swallow your pride, maybe feel a little bit like, whoa, I've made a mistake here and I need to rectify the situation? Or on the other side, did you bring this up with someone, a company or a person, and what was the best response you got? How was this resolved? I would look forward to what you have to say because this has been a really insightful couple of days for me, and I hope that this has caused you to think about what your core values are and when you're out of integrity with what those values are.